everyone who has become aware of a spiritual stuff, of a different stuff other than the mind and body, and who wants to have a clearer and intimate experience of that stuff, in the same way as you have the experience of your body, as you have experience of the mind, as you have been experiencing the psychological problems, you have a clear experience. Even as you have the experience of happiness and agony, in the same way, intimate experience of that spiritual stuff that you are, that you have, that is within you. That means when you want to plunge yourself into incessant and sincere spiritual practice, then you are qualified for householder sannyas. Every karma begets karma. Remember it. A seed is sown. A plant is born. A tree is born. Then again it throws off seeds. Again the trees are born. Every karma begets karma. That is true with everybody except the person who has withdrawn his ego from the day-to-day participation. The principle of householder sannyas is based on this. A householder, not a householder sannyasin, a householder, he creates a karma, and the result, and karma, and the consequences, and there is an unending chain of the law of causation. It's never ending. Why? Because as a simple householder, as a mere householder, he has been involving his ego with each and every impression, with each and every experience, with each and every event, and with every person. And because of the involvement of ego, the karma creates a law of causation, cause and effect, cause and effect. But the householder sannyasin is trying best to detach his ego from participation. He works in the office, he works in the shop, he works in the kitchen, in the farm, even in the ashram. He works, he does, through the mind, through his senses, through his body, through his intellect, through his emotions, but not through his ego. This ego principle is the important principle which relates you with the karma. And once you are able to withdraw the ego, then karmas do not belong to you. That is called either selfless karma or disinterested karma or karma with detachment. Many of you come here, work in the garden up there, try, work in the best possible manner, work with these buildings, work in the kitchen, but that does not produce karma for you. Because here your participation is physical, intellectual, mental, emotional, and through the senses. But it's not egotistical. You do not involve your ego into these participations I'm talking about. And therefore, the result accruing from them will not belong to you. They will not belong to you. You suffer from the consequences of karma. You suffer from the consequences of karma because you have always involved yourself. The loss is yours. The profit is yours. Death belongs to you, and the birth belongs to you because you have involved yourself. There are two ways of dealing with life, and that is the central theme of Gita, remember it. That is the only theme of Bhagavad Gita. That is the only theme of Bhagavad Gita from beginning to the end. There are two approaches to life. One, through attachment. Another, through detachment. When you approach life with attachment, there is total involvement of ego. And when you approach life with detachment, there is total involvement of everything excepting ego. And ego, therefore, is the principle which is responsible for the law of causation. If there is no involvement, then karma belongs to you and not the fruits, not the result. Householder, sannyasin must get ready for this. Instead of renouncing the karma, instead of renouncing the people, instead of renouncing their object of duty, instead of renouncing money and property and children, instead of renouncing love and passion, they have to separate that one principle called ego. And this is a philosophical principle. This is a simple principle. I can tell you one simple example. I had a friend who was a treasurer in the government treasury. Every day he used to deal with thousands and thousands of rupees. One morning when he went back to treasury at about 10 o'clock, it was reported that in the night some dacoits broke into the treasury and took away about 10,000, 20,000 rupees. I don't know how far this news affected him, his mind, his personality. You can imagine how far this must have affected him. Not at all, because the money did not belong to him. At least he thought the money doesn't belong to him. It is only the process of taking and giving the money that belonged to him. And if his papers, his registers were all right, everything was okay. It doesn't matter who took away the money. He comes back in the evening with a little bit of worry, that's all. Because he had to work, his papers, the balances and everything is okay. One day, he was going to the market for purchasing. He had 25 rupees in his pocket and somebody took it away. He lost his head. He didn't know what to do. And he had to come back. He got up on the rickshaw. You know, in India, cycle rickshaw we have. And he was abusing the cycle rickshaw that he was not driving it well. And when he came back home, he was cross with his wife, with his child, with everybody. 25 rupees that belonged to him, not 10,000 rupees which he lost. A philosophical relationship. A relationship which we develop towards an object, towards a person, on account of our definite values. 25 rupees belong to me, that's mine. And 10,000 did not belong to me. And therefore, the loss of 10,000 was not mine. And the loss of 25 rupees was mine. The loss of 10,000 did not create a karma, did not stir his mind, did not disturb him. What a big amount. And 25 rupees completely, totally imbalanced each and every behavior of personality. I believe he had high blood pressure also. And if he was weak person, and if it was a little more than 25, maybe if it was 2,500, my God, it should have been nervous breakdown too. You see, this is how a householder sannyasin, one who wants to step into the life of a householder sannyasin, must prepare himself that he is going to reassess. He is going to revise. He is going to reorganize his relationships with each and everything that he is living with, including the loss of the money, including the loss of wife and husband, including the untimely death of a child, including all kind of social and political difficulties he may have to face in his life. He will have to reorganize, and then with this reorganization he can become a householder sannyasin and can start his spiritual practices. The growth of spiritual experience will be very fast.